So I got the return line out. This is the size difference between the return line I had in there and the correct size I was supposed to have. Pretty noticeable difference. As you can see, it's pretty even, almost about a half of an inch difference. And it came out pretty easy, so it makes me wonder if it was really leaking, how easy it came out. So I'm guessing it was. So now I'm going to take out the feed line, get that out, get the canister cleaned up, and get the pump undone, and start assembling everything. So the reason why I even have the pump out of the car again, besides it leaking, I thought I was having more of like a fuel cut issue under a certain amount of RPM. It always seemed to be, towards wide open throttle, so I thought maybe I was starving for fuel. And the more I thought about it, the more I kind of looked into it, I realized I'm actually running rich. So I had somebody follow behind me, and they said they saw a bunch of flames coming out and a lot of black smoke, which means I'm running rich. So I guess what I originally thought was wrong with the pump, how it was sitting in the canister, I was originally wrong. So after I get this all assembled to get the car back up and running, now I gotta figure out why that's going on. The only other thing I could think of is right before Proving Grounds of last year, I installed my two-step, and that's the only thing that I ever touched on the car besides the tank in a long time. So I'm wondering if possibly it has something to do with the two-step. So I'm just sitting here thinking about what I'm exactly going to do. And once again, I get ahead of myself like I always do. So originally what I was going to be doing with the lines inside the canister and inside the tank, I was going to have my Dash 6 have a 3/8 line, fuel line on it from O'Reilly's. And I'm going to put the full-blown fitting like this right on there, push it in. It doesn't have a lot of pressure, so that's the only reason why I was going to do this. And then on top of that, I have 7/16 that I was going to use for the Dash 8. Well, after thinking, like I always do, like I was saying, I found some leftover line that I had from the SRT fuel setup. So I got Dash 8 and Dash 6. So I might end up just using this instead of the rubber hose there. I know it's technically pretty much the same thing as that hose there, just a rubber hose inside, same thing. But I think I might give this a go. Instead, it's gonna look better, and with the nylon on the outside, it's probably gonna hold up a little bit better. So once I get to that point, we'll give that a try. So after messing with it for about an hour, I got the return line bulkhead out. I had a hard time getting the actual feed bulkhead out. With that sealant in there, it's almost impossible. I might just get another fuel pump canister tomorrow by somebody, see if I can find one, or go to the junkyard and grab one. So I'm gonna run to Fastenal tomorrow, since they did give me the wrong size. I'm not sure exactly what size this is, but I do need a 3/4 for this bulkhead. So I'm gonna pick this back up tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow goes smoother than it did today. But yeah, we'll pick up, and well, for you guys it'll be a couple seconds, but for me, tomorrow. So today is day 2. I finally got these seals that I ordered. As you remember, these old ones did not fit. They were the wrong size, plus they're the wrong style. The style that I was looking for, as you remember, is this flat crush washer style. This is not a crush washer. Once again, O'Reilly's messing up. So my buddy Jay told me that they're called Stato seals. See here, looks like I kind of ripped the bag already, but looks like it says yeah. I can't read it. I ripped it too much already. So, anyways, they're made by Earls. You can see it a little bit. Earls Race Plumbing, I think it says. But these are Statoseals. So the inside of them have some kind of synthetic rubber, and they do have a small lip. I don't know if you can see this. Get the focus, there we go. It does have a small inner lip to give the bulkhead to crush down on with an aluminum outside ring. So these two alone, $16. $16 for these two little rings. So I didn't get them for the Dash 6 bulkhead. I do have just nylon crush washers that I did find at O'Reilly's because this is a standard size. I think that's a 3/8, I believe. I don't know, I might be wrong. So like I said in the previous day, I do have some extra line here. I'm probably going to use that because it's more durable and it's made for fuel for sure. It's not any of this O'Reilly shit. So I'm going to start gathering that together, kind of cleaning up this workbench. It's been sitting here for a day or two. Oh, also, by the way, this thing definitely needs some cleaning. But I went to the junkyard, got a new fuel pump canister and fuel pump. Of course, I don't need the fuel pump. I think one thing I do need to get by this weekend is a new sock. A new filter. This thing is dirty as shit. So, like I said previous, I couldn't get the bulkhead fitting out of the old canister. So I just went and got another one. It's the same thing out of like a 2003, 2004 regular Neon. So the only thing I have to do right now is depin the fuel pump, the Walbro, off of my old one, and then depin the factory fuel pump out of this canister, and then put this on here, and then toss this one and the factory fuel pump. Both garbage. So I still have to line up and see where I'm going to add my bulkhead fittings. Like, I don't know if I want to match here because this one was slightly off. I kind of wish it was a little bit more to the right. So I'm going to kind of get that adjusted, and they look like, yeah, I guess they're the same. Some people do take out the factory fuel pump regulator, and they do like I guess it's called like water weld, I think, and they fill it up. But all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pretty much cap it so it doesn't leak. It's just less work. So we're going to get to it, get it cleaned up, and start assembling. So the one thing I want to check before I even get into working on this today and finishing this video is if this fits my Dash 8 bulkhead. And perfect. So it'll go bulkhead, Statoseal or Statoseal, canister, then another. Somebody's home. So how this bulkhead's going to actually sit, it's going to be Statoseal, and then it's going to be gas tank canister, then another Statoseal, and then the final nut on that. And then it's going to have the other straight fuel fitting from Full Blown right on the end of there. So as you can see, this is pretty long. I have really big hands, and this thing's it's pretty big. So as you can see, this is my old bulkhead. There's no way in hell all of this is going to fit on this. I know this is a Dash 6, much smaller, but the Dash 8, of course, I can't get out of the tank. But yeah, all of this will not fit onto this. I was actually just thinking, I just got a Snapchat from a friend. I have created a new Snapchat just for my YouTube channel. There we go, let it focus. Just take a screenshot of that. Go ahead and follow. I do a lot of different car events. I'm always adding different stuff as I go along my build, kind of like behind the scenes with my cars and whatnot and other random things. I don't snap as much as I used to, but I'm trying to get back onto the old ways, I guess if you could say. So this is the bottleneck here. As you can see, the size goes from a larger size to a very small size that goes through and into the fuel line. And that's what they call the bottleneck right inside there. As you can see, it's much thinner than my finger. So when they talk about bottleneck fix, this is the bottleneck that they're getting rid of. You got the size of the fuel pump, and it goes up to a much smaller size, almost the size of the screwdriver, pretty much almost exactly. And now you can see the size difference between my feed line that I upgraded to the factory. How much of a difference you're really getting when you start getting up with the higher horsepower numbers. Happened with mine. One of my friends broke this tab at one point in time on mine, so I'm kind of happy to have that back. So it's one plus about getting a new canister is having this tab. What I'm going to do next is where the bulkhead feed is going to be. As you can see, it fits in there, but what I'm going to do is kind of grind these down just so I have a little bit more room to get the nut in. And as you can see, if the nut's too far towards this wall, I'll never be able to get a socket in there. So I need to make a little bit more room for the washer so I can bring this up like that and be able to fit a socket on. So I'm going to get my safety glasses. I try to wear them as much as possible. I took a piece of plastic in the eye the other day and it did not feel good, so safety first. That was bad. Now that I have those areas sanded out, I'm going to line up where I want my bulkhead to be, and I'm going to mark it with a Sharpie. So the bulkhead setup is all done. All I got to do is cut into the canister, set up the hoses, assemble it, and I'm all good. It's getting late, so I'm gonna probably end this video here. If you follow my Snapchat, I told everybody why I wasn't uploading recently. I was out of town for the 4th for a while, and I was with my girlfriend's family. Don't really want to film with family around, so plus it was in a tiny town. Nothing really worth filming. But I'm going to get back to it. I want to start doing, at least 2 videos a week. Especially once the SRT is done, I'm going to be out and about doing more things with that. Getting into the track, doing autocross. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great night. God damn. I'm always losing tools. What the hell is wrong with me?